Hello, here we'll do more examples on geometric series. The first question, it's saying determine the monthly payment needed to repay 100,000 loan which is paid back over 25 years. So there is a $100,000, so there is a $100,000 loan, and it will be paid over how many years? 25 years. And the rate is compounded monthly. The rate is compounded annually. It's 8%, and the payment is monthly, by the way. So a loan of 100,000 that will be paid within 25 years, and you have an interest rate which is compounded annually, which is 8%, but the payment will be monthly. So starting from here, we'll have some notes on the solution. In this example, the time interval between consecutive payments is 1 month. So every month you're going to pay something, whereas the period during the interest is charged is 1 year. So the interest charge will be within a year. So the interest is compounded annually at 8%. So the amount of interest charging during the first year is 8% of the original loan. That means in year 1, on the first year, you'll have the original loan plus the 8%. So it will be 8% times the loan, which is 100,000, which will give you 8,000. So in the first year, you'll have 100,000 plus this 8,000. Yes. So the 100,000 is your loan, the 8,000 is the interest, and you'll pay 12 payments. That means 12 times X payment. By the way, I'm looking for, the question is asking me how much I'm going to pay monthly. So since I don't know how much I'm going to pay monthly, let's call it X. So 100,000 plus 8,000 minus 12X. Let's collect the like terms. It will be 100. It will be 108,000 minus 12X. It's 108,000 minus 12X. This is on the first year. Okay. Then what will happen on the next year? This amount is added on the outstanding debt at the end of the first year. During this time, 12 months repayments are made. Yes, which is the 12X. So if each installment is an X dollar, the outstanding debt must be decreased by 12%. At the end of the first year, the amount owed is, as I told you, at the end of the first year, it will be 108,000 minus 12X. But to make this one, to represent it in a different way, that means to make it easier, like a scale, you can do it like 100,000 times 1.08 minus 12X. By the way, if you multiply 100,000 by 1.08, you'll find the same amount, which is 108,000 minus 12X. But here I'm trying to find this rate or this scale. So in order to be able to spot the pattern in the annual debt, we will do it this way, as I told you. For the first part, simply reflects the fact that 8% interest is added on the original sum, which is 100,000. Okay, at the end of the second year, a similar calculation is performed. The amount owed rises by 8%. So in the second year, again you'll have an 8% rise on what's left from the first year. So what's left from the first year is minus 12X, because at the end of the first year we already paid 12 payments. So at the end of the first year, this will be left. In the second year, you'll have what's left from the first year multiplied by the interest, which is 1.08. If you multiply this one, you find 100. I'll change the color so that things will be clear. What will be left is like 100,000. 1.08 times 1.08 will be 1.08 squared minus 12x times 1.08. We deduct a 12x from this amount. You're going to deduct a 12 payment. So it will be minus 12x, because in the second year again you'll pay another 12 payments. Okay, so this will be what you owe on the end of the second year. Okay, this is the amount owed at the end of the second year. Each year we multiply this sum by 1.08 and you will deduct or subtract 12x, so that at the end of the third year, what will happen at the end of the third year? Let's see what we had on the second year, which is this is what we had on the second year, right? On the end of the second year. Yes, so multiply it by 1.08 and deduct 12x. So at the end of the third year, oh sorry, I forgot something here. Third year equals minus 12x. We're just copying what we had on the previous page, by the way. So this will be multiplied by 1.08 and subtracted from it at 12x. So here it will be 100,000 times 1.08 squared with this one will be cubed minus 12x times 1.08 but squared because 1.08 minus 12x times 1.08 minus 12x. So this will be at the end of the third year. So you can see here that doing this sum for the next 25 years will be very difficult, so the pattern is going to continue. So we see that after 25 years the amount that will be owed is, using the same pattern I'm going to do this one. If it is on the third year, so on the 25th year it will be 25 here. Look here, always the 1.08 is less than this one by 1, so it will be here to the power of 24 minus 12x to the power of 23, blah blah blah, till it's just minus 12x. So here we can simplify this one by doing what? Here you can simply calculate first this amount separately. You will have to, yes, separately, and it will be if you calculate this one separately, you will get 684,847.522. So from here, this part got a 12x, 12x, 12x. So what if you take the 12x as a common factor? Here we have taken a common factor of 12x and rewrite the power of 1.08 in ascending order, which is, you can say what? Okay, by the way, let me explain for you what I did here so that you don't get confused. Here, look, in this part get a 12x, so I will leave it alone and I will do this one by itself, which is 100,000 times 1.08 to the power of 25. This is what you owe without the payment. This is what you are going to owe, which is the 100,000 with the 8% of interest. At the end of the 25th year, you will owe 684,847.520. Now let's calculate the monthly payments alone separately. So here 12x is doing a problem for us, so let's take it out as a common factor, and we'll be left with 1 plus 1.08 plus 1.08 squared. Like, look, here the 12x, you took it as 1, then 1.08 squared, blah blah blah, till what? Till 1.08 to the power of 24. So I hope you understood this part. Let's go to the next slide. Now the geometric series inside the square brackets can be worked out in the formula, which is a into Rn. You can use this formula now. By the way, what is A? A is the first term, and in the last page, if you saw, what is my first term is here 1, but how many terms do you have? 25. 24 plus this one will be, because this is going to go inside and multiply, so it will be 25 terms. So A is just 1, r to the power of 1.08 is my r to the power of 25 minus 1 over the value here will be, so this was the number that have been multiplying with the 12x. Now here, that's what I told you, that the first term is A and the geometric ratio, which is 1.08, and we are assuming that the first term is 25, so we got this answer. We found this answer. Now let's go to the next page. So the amount owed at the end of the 25th year will be this, the whole amount that is owed, minus 12 times the amount that's paid, and we already got this one, which is 684 minus, you know how I found this one, it's by 1.08 to the power of 12 to see the monthly payment. So in this expression, x denotes the monthly payments, which is chosen so that the debt is completely cleared after 25 years. So this is after 25 years, so it will be 684 . This will equal to 0 because your debt is finished. So take this one back, it will be so to find the value of x, that means the monthly payment, divide by 877.272, both sides 877.272, this will be cancelled out, so the value for x will be $780.66. So monthly you're supposed to pay this amount of money to get rid of a loan of 100,000 that was compounded monthly at a rate of 8% annually. So I hope you understood this question.